Reality TV has always pushed boundaries for ratings. But imagine a world where contestants literally fight to the death while millions watch. That's the terrifying premise of the new Running Man remake. And what's scarier is how close to reality it feels.
The timing of this film is so interesting, especially as we're seeing reality shows become increasingly exploitative. How do you think they managed to update Stephen King's 1982 story for today's audience?
Well, they've brilliantly tapped into our current anxieties about healthcare and corporate control. The premise hits harder now. A desperate father enters a deadly game show because he can't afford medical care for his sick child. It's like Black Mirror meets the Hunger Games, but with this uncomfortable layer of plausibility.
The way they've incorporated modern media manipulation is particularly chilling. Josh Brolin's character Killian represents everything scary about entertainment executives with too much power.
You know what's fascinating? The whole concept of doctoring Richards' video commentary to paint him as a villain. It's not even that far-fetched anymore. We're already seeing deep fakes and selective editing in reality TV. This just takes it to its logical, horrifying conclusion.
Speaking of which, let's talk about Glen Powell's performance as Richards. It's quite different from Schwarzenegger's take in the 1987 version.
That's exactly what makes this version work. Powell brings this vulnerability that Schwarzenegger never could. He's not an invincible action hero. He's a regular guy pushed to extremes. Though I noticed those awkward facial expressions in early scenes, they actually help sell his character's discomfort with the whole situation.
The supporting cast really elevates the whole film, too. William H. Macy and Michael Cera bring such different energies to their roles.
Oh, man. Sarah's Elton Parakis is exactly what this movie needed. This sort of awkward rebel whose father was destroyed by the same system. It adds this whole generational aspect to the resistance narrative. And Macy's character, Molly Jernigan, brings this world-weary wisdom that makes the underground resistance feel more credible.
The technical aspects really serve the story well, too. Edgar Wright's direction brings his signature style while still feeling different from his previous work.
Well, that's what impressed me most. How Wright balances the action sequences with darker, satirical elements. Each chase or fight scene reveals something about the characters or advances the plot. It's not just mindless spectacle.
The way they handle the public's changing perception of Richards is particularly well done. It really reflects how social media can turn someone into a hero or villain overnight.
You know what's clever about that? The system's attempts to destroy Richards actually create this unexpected folk hero. Even with all their media manipulation, they can't control how people connect with his authentic struggle. It's like a commentary on how truth can still break through in our age of manufactured content.
The film's length has been a point of discussion. At 2 hours and 13 minutes, some say it runs long. What's your take?
Here's the thing about the length. It gives them time to really build this world and show how the game show has become this cornerstone of society. Though, yeah, there are moments in the middle that could have been tighter. The pacing serves the story's larger themes about systemic corruption and resistance.
The way they've updated the technology for 2025 feels unnervingly possible, too.
That's because they kept it just advanced enough to be scary, but not so far-fetched that it breaks your suspension of disbelief. The surveillance systems, the tracking methods, the footage manipulation, it all feels like it could exist 5 minutes from now.
So looking at the bigger picture, what do you think this film says about where we're heading as a society?
Well, it's essentially warning us about the logical endpoint of our entertainment culture colliding with corporate power. When you combine unlimited corporate control, desperate people, and an audience hungry for increasingly extreme content, this is where you end up. The scariest part isn't the action or the violence. It's how believable the whole premise feels.
That's what makes it more than just another remake, doesn't it?
Exactly. It takes King's original concept and makes it relevant for today while still honoring what made the story compelling in the first place. It's both a warning about where we're heading and a reminder that resistance against corrupt systems isn't futile. Even in this dark future, there's still hope for human connection and truth to break through. We give The Running Man a score of 7.5 out of 10.
You've been listening to Movies First.
Available at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favourite podcast player. You can also stream on demand at Bytes.com.
This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.